You ever feel like life's just happening to you? Like you're just reacting to whatever gets thrown your way with no real control? Yeah, I've been there too. But here's the thing. About 2,000 years ago, some of the most powerful and some of the most powerless people on Earth figured out something that changes everything. And today, I'm going to share it with you. This is part 1 of our series on Stoicism for beginners. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand what Stoicism really is, what it's not, and why it might be exactly what you need right now. So let's dive in. Stoicism started in Athens around 300 BC with a guy named Zeno. But the philosophy really took off when the Romans adopted it. And here's what's crazy. It was practiced by 3 completely different types of people, living completely different lives, yet they all found the same truth. Let me introduce you to the 3 giants you need to know. First, there's Epictetus. This guy was born a slave. Yeah, a slave. He had no freedom, no rights, nothing. But somehow, while his body was in chains, his mind became completely free. He's the one who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that. A man who couldn't control anything about his external life figured out how to have total internal control. Then you've got Seneca, complete opposite situation. This guy was one of the richest men in Rome, advisor to Emperor Nero, had all the power and wealth you could imagine, but he practiced detachment. He wrote these incredible letters about how to actually live, how to deal with loss, how to handle success without losing yourself. Rich as hell, but never controlled by his wealth. And finally, Marcus Aurelius. This is the big one. Marcus was the emperor of Rome, literally the most powerful man in the entire world at that time. He could have anything, do anything. But every night he'd sit down and write in his journal, basically coaching himself to be a better person. He lost 8 of his children. 8! He faced wars, betrayals, plagues, and through all of it, he wrote, "The mind that is not disturbed is an invincible fortress." Now here's what I want you to catch. A slave, a wealthy advisor, and an emperor. 3 totally different lives. Same philosophy. Why? Because Stoicism works no matter what situation you're in. Whether you've got everything or nothing, whether you're at the top or the bottom, these principles work. And that's what makes this so powerful. But before we go any further, we got to clear up some massive misconceptions because people get Stoicism completely wrong all the time. First myth. Stoics are emotionless robots, cold, unfeeling, don't care about anything. That's complete BS. Marcus Aurelius cried when his children died. These guys felt emotions just like everyone else. The difference is, they didn't let emotions control them. There's a huge difference between feeling angry and being controlled by your anger. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about managing them. You feel it, you acknowledge it, but you don't let it hijack your decisions. Second myth. Stoics are passive. They just accept everything and never take action. Wrong again. These guys were action-oriented as hell. Marcus led armies. Seneca advised emperors. The difference is, they understood what they could control and what they couldn't. They accepted what couldn't be changed so they could put all their energy into what could be changed. That's not passivity, that's strategic wisdom. Third myth. Stoics means being poor and renouncing everything. Nope. Seneca was one of the richest dudes in Rome. Stoicism isn't about poverty, it's about not being enslaved by your stuff. You can have money, you can enjoy nice things, but you don't need them to be happy. You're not controlled by them. Big difference. And the last one, people think Stoicism is religion. It's not. It's a practical philosophy for living. It works with any religion or no religion at all. Christians practice Stoicism, atheists practice Stoicism. It doesn't matter what you believe about God or the universe, these principles work either way. So if it's not those things, what is Stoicism really? Stoicism is a practical philosophy that teaches you to live with 4 core qualities. Wisdom, seeing things as they actually are, not as you wish they were or as they appear to be. Courage, doing what's right even when you're scared out of your mind. Justice, treating other people with respect and fairness even when they don't deserve it. And temperance, self-control in everything you do. The goal of all this is something the Greeks called eudaimonia. It's not happiness in the way we usually think about it, not that shallow, temporary feel-good stuff. It's more like human flourishing. It's deep inner peace. It's waking up and knowing that no matter what crazy stuff happens today, you're going to handle it well. Nothing external can shake you because you're solid on the inside. Here's what Stoicism promises you, and I'm going to be straight with you. It doesn't promise your life will be easy. It doesn't promise you'll get everything you want. What it promises is that you'll have peace regardless of what's happening around you. When everyone else is losing their minds, you'll be calm. When everyone else is panicking, you'll be thinking clearly. When the world is chaos, you'll have a fortress inside your own mind that nothing can touch. Think about how powerful that is. Most people are completely at the mercy of their circumstances. Bad traffic, day ruined. Someone's rude to them, whole week ruined. Stock market drops, total panic. But a Stoic? Things happen, good and bad, and they stay steady. Not because they don't care, but because they've trained themselves to respond rather than react. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during one of the most difficult periods in Roman history. Constant wars, a devastating plague, betrayals from people he trusted. And yet, he maintained his composure. How? Through these principles we're talking about. He didn't have some magical power that you don't have. He just practiced these ideas every single day. And that's the thing. This isn't some theoretical philosophy that sounds good on paper but doesn't work in real life. This has been tested for 2,000 years by people in every situation imaginable. Slaves used it to stay sane in captivity, soldiers used it in war, business people use it in high-pressure situations, parents use it raising kids. It works because it's based on reality, not fantasy. So here's where you're at right now. You understand that Stoicism has this incredible history. You know it's not about being cold or passive or poor. You know it's about developing wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control to achieve that deep inner peace that can't be shaken by external circumstances. But here's the question. How does this actually work? How do you go from knowing about these ideas to actually living them? That's what we're going to cover in the rest of this series, because there's one principle, one idea that changes everything once you really get it. It's called the dichotomy of control, and it's probably the most important concept in all of Stoicism. We're going to dive deep into that in part 2. I'm going to show you exactly how to apply it, give you real examples, and by the end, you're going to see your problems completely differently. But for now, just sit with what you've learned today. Stoicism isn't some ancient, dusty philosophy that doesn't matter anymore. It matters now more than ever. We live in a world of constant chaos, information overload. Everyone's anxious about everything all the time. Stoicism gives you a way to stay sane in all of that. It gives you tools that actually work. So if this resonates with you, if something in you is saying, yeah, I need this, then hit that like button and subscribe, because we're just getting started. Part 2 is coming, and it's going to blow your mind. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your biggest struggle right now? What's the one thing that's really getting to you? I'll read every single comment. Remember, Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like the person who hurt you. Don't let the chaos of the world turn you into a chaotic person. You can be different. You can be steady. You can have that peace. All right, I'll see you in part 2, where we dive into the dichotomy of control, the game changer. Until then, stay strong.